you go back in time, and you meet your grandmother when she was like super young, and you see her, and she's like kind of a bitch to you.
Oh,
you know,
right.
and
Okay.
and you decide like, you know what, I'm gonna kill you. And you murder.
Wait,
No, listen.
this escalated so quick. Oh my god.
Right. So maybe I have to do with a relative that is like further away from you. Let's say
No. You've done this. No, you've done this. Just keep going. Actually.
Hello there.
Hello.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Welcome to
The Actually.
podcast.
Woo.
Yeah.
Actually.
Woo.
Actually.
Let's go.
Actually.
Woo.
Actually.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Actually.
Yeah. Woo.
I am not ready for this.
Oh my. Oh my goodness.
Actually. With your hosts
The wonderful Cobble.
and the amazing Katy.
Oh yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome in to a new
New episode.
of our cheeky little podcast.
Actually, yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm like
Cobble's got the giggles.
yeah, and like we're so silly when we like start a recording. We're just so silly when we have to like sync up our audio and stuff. Like it's really silly. It's really silly.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're complete professionals.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course, yeah. No, you didn't hear anything what I said.
So professional. So professional.
Right. So, hello, welcome to our new episode. Yeah, it's exciting. Especially today's episode is exciting,
Yeah.
because it's gonna like wreck our brains.
Yes, I am scared. I'm not mentally prepared for this.
Have you like shielded your single brain cell with like?
It's
I don't know.
guarded. Yeah.
Is it
it's like-
guarded?
yeah, it's got
Right.
like a shield. It's got a sword. Like I'm ready,
Right,
but I think
right.
they're like made out of wood, so it's not gonna go well. I don't think.
Yeah, no. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I have had a productive day so far. It's a good day. And it's very warm outside. I'm sweating a little bit. And yeah, I'm doing
Really?
good.
Like here it's like freaking raining. It's not it's,
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
warm here today.
I'm also like pretty content with the state I am in right now.
Yes.
Because
As we're recording this, you did what yesterday?
I started my job yesterday, my new job.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. It was really good. It was really fun. It was a bit overwhelming, but I think like anywhere you start like a new position that you haven't really done before, and
Yeah.
like it's a new place and they have their own, like way of working, and
Yeah.
like they have their own workflow and stuff. And it was all very overwhelming, but I had a great day. Colleagues are awesome. We're getting a freaking company mascot,
What?
but like a little office dog.
Oh my god, you get an office dog?
Yeah, we're getting an office dog, and I'm like, oh my god.
Wow, that is.
Yeah.
Do they know like what kind of dog they're gonna get? Like, what
I
is
mean,
the plan?
they show me a picture, but I don't really know what like dog breed it is, but it's like a tinier, like it's not like Chihuahua sized. It's like, I think triple Chihuahua size.
Right.
And it's like, it has like curly hair,
Right.
and it'll still be a pupper.
Oh.
Like I was like, they told us this, and I was like, how am I supposed to get work done with that running
Yeah.
around?
That's gonna be very hard. I used to work in
yeah.
an office that had an office dog, and it was the best part about working there. And my boss got it, like, obviously when it was a puppy. It was a Bernese Mountain Dog.
Oh my God. I love those
when
so
they're
much.
puppies, they are just like the fluffiest, cutest little.
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
God. It was like impossible to get anything done. Impossible. But that was my boss's fault. So
yeah,
you did that. You played yourself, actually.
We're gonna see what that'll be like, but I'm very, very much excited about it.
You better send me pictures of this.
I
dog.
will.
Thank you.
But yeah, I had a great day yesterday. First day of work was a bit overwhelming, but I think that's everywhere. You start a new place, like it'll be a bit overwhelming naturally, I think. And like I got me clients and yeah.
Very good. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. Very
It's good
proud
stuff.
of you.
It's good stuff.
That's awesome.
And in the meantime, Bullen is just sleeping in his cat bed. So, I mean, like,
I love him. I love him so much. You're just content. You're just.
Yeah.
It's great. It's great.
I actually really am. Like, and yesterday, like, I came home at like 7 p.m. because trains suck.
They do.
And like, I came home and I normally still had to cook. And I was really not fit. Like, I was like, Cleo, I really don't want to cook. And Cleo was like, you know what? Why don't we go and get some fries to celebrate your first day? And I was like, Cleo, that's like the best idea you've ever had. And it was delicious.
We love Cleo. What a big brain.
We do.
What a big brain.
We do. She does have big brain. She doesn't think so, but she's like super intelligent, super smart,
she does.
super beautiful.
Yeah. Just queen, absolute queen.
Yeah, just absolute queen, absolutely.
We are rebranding to a Cleo Stan podcast. Actually,
Cleo Stan podcast. I just know that Cleo is listening to this in her car right now. Like, not right now for us, but right now for her, because she's gonna listen to our podcast while she drives to work. And so, like, I know that she's listening to this in her car, and she's like, stop it! And it's amazing. I love that.
We love you, Cleo. We do.
Yeah, we do. Right. So today's episode is gonna be about a cheeky little concept called time travel.
Yes.
Like we're gonna talk about how time travel is in like sci-fi stuff, like in fiction, but we're also gonna talk about like the science behind actual time travel, which like I have to stress that neither of us, like Katie and I are not like scientists or professionals in this field at all. I've done it. Yeah, far from it. Like
very far.
Freaking light years away from that. But I did do some research, and like I apologize if some of my research may be like flawed or there's mistakes in it, or I just explain it in a way that is kind of wrong. I think I grasp like, because my brain during research of this, my brain like literally had multiple meltdowns.
Yeah, like head empty, no thoughts.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, this is just kind of like everything that we talk about on this podcast. Like, you know, we're not experts with anything. We just like to talk a lot. So yeah.
Exactly.
That's basically what it is.
So yeah, take everything with a grain of salt, but we're gonna go into the science of it as well, and whether it's possible, and if it's possible, how would it work? Like
brain hardy,
like paradoxes and stuff. Like, we're gonna talk about all of that good stuff. Yummy num nums, right?
Yeah. Get ready to exercise your brain cells today.
Yes.
Yeah.
But before we do that, Katie, I think you have to announce something about a word.
Yeah, so last week our episode was about K-pop. It was so much fun. I had a blast, and
you made a hilarious mistake.
I did make a hilarious mistake, and I'm not going to say what it is. If you noticed it, you noticed it, and that's just it. I have created a monster in Cobble, I do believe, because he's becoming a K-pop stan now. I made him a playlist.
Yes.
And yeah,
I've
never
listened
been
to a lot of K-pop the past few days, and
I'm so proud. Like, I'm gonna put it on my CV. Like,
I have also started. I've also started using the word, the word that was the word search answer of last week.
yes,
Like
yeah.
in conversations, like all the time.
He has, yes, he can confirm. So every week, if you don't know, we hide a word in the podcast relating to the topic. And last week it was Saesang, which was a little topic that we touched on, K-pop related. You can go back and listen to it if you want to find out what that is. But if you got the word, congrats, big oohs.
Congratulations, big like applause, like big applause,
big freaking applause. Yeah.
Oh my
You're
goodness,
very observant.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this week, this episode, there will be another word hidden like throughout the episode. You'll have letters scattered throughout the episodes, and with those letters you can make a word, and you can let us know which word it was if you want. And if you got it, then you win a little applause in the next episode. Yeah,
applause.
Yeah. Applause. Yeah, little pat on the back. Well done, XA.
Well done.
Well
Heck
done.
Yeah. And also, what we do every week is we like to highlight a little movie or a little TV show or a little game. And I believe Mr. Cobble Wobbles here has a movie to talk about this week.
Yes, I have a movie to talk about.
A movie. Tell me
actually
about it.
I actually was thinking about this, and we kind of forgot to add like a book of the week in that lineup. Like, why not a book of the week?
See, it would help if I actually, read books.
Read books. Right. But like for this week, we're talking about time travel, and so I chose a movie that has time travel in it. But I was also thinking about a book that I read like I think like 4 years ago, 3 years and a half ago now, and I kind of want to reread it because it's really good. And like that book will also be in one of our later conversations during this episode, and it's called All of Our Wrong Todays by Ilan Mastai.
Ooh,
really good like sci-fi book about time travel, and you should check it out. I just wanted to give that a quick little shout out before I talk about the movie of the week, just because we don't really have like a book of the week section because Katie doesn't read a lot.
I don't.
Which will change when I release my book. Then she'll just read that.
Yeah. Of course. I'll read your book. But also, like, I am the type of person that's like, I don't have time to read. And then I'll go on TikTok for like 2 hours. So. Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't have time to read a book. What do you mean? I don't have time. And then you're just like spending 2 hours on a social media platform.
Yeah. I just playing myself, so yeah.
Yeah. But the movie of the week is called Arrival.
I have not heard of it, so you're gonna have to tell me about it.
It's a movie directed by one of my favorite directors working in film today. It's directed by Denis Villeneuve. Ooh. Who also directed Blade Runner 2049, aka my like most favorite movie of all time.
Wow. Okay.
And like Arrival is about aliens that arrive on Earth. And this woman that is tasked, like she's like a linguist, a linguistics like expert, and she's tasked to communicate with these aliens. And to learn their language and to learn what they're saying. Right. And like there's a big time travel aspect in it. As in like the language that these aliens speak. Like once you get it, you unlock the way that those aliens experience time.
Oh.
And those aliens experience time as like all at once.
What?
And not from past to future, but all at once. So they live like at the same time. They live in the past and in the present and in the future and everything in between and beyond. It's really wild. It's really wild.
How do people like come up with movies like this? Like,
I don't know. I don't know.
What? Okay, right.
I don't know, but it's really, really interesting. It's a really, really good movie. It's really well shot as well. Like every shot is a freaking painting. I love it. And if you haven't seen it and you love sci-fi, please go watch Arrival. It is so good. The ending will blow your mind, and you will not understand anything anymore. But it's really good. It's really good. And yeah, it's one of my favorite directors. Denis Villeneuve is one of my favorite directors working today.
Nice.
And he will also be directing the new Dune movie coming out this year.
Ooh.
From like the books Dune, like the Dune books.
Yeah.
And like he's directing the new movie of that, and I hope that movie will be really freaking good and that he'll be able to make sequels to that, because I think that book series is quite long, and it would be nice to see all of those books like transferred into a movie. And I think like from what I've heard so far, like there's already people that have seen it like in private screenings and stuff, and like they seem to like it or love it. It's also premiering at the Festival of Cannes this year. So like, or no, wait, was it Venice? I don't know, like some super important like movie festival thing where like a lot of movies that are being like primed for Oscars and stuff go.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Exciting.
I'm very excited. So yeah, there's that as well. Great director. You should check out his movies. It's,
very
good
nice.
stuff.
Very good.
Yeah. So that was it for the movie of the week, Arrival.
Nice.
Check it out. And as a bonus, book of the week, all of our wrong todays, Elon Must I.
That even the title alone sounds like an existential crisis, like waiting to happen.
It's really good. Like I'll explain more about it later when we talk about time travel, and I bet you're gonna want to read it.
Okay.
It's like it's one of my favorite books.
Okay.
It's genuinely one of my favorite books, and like my goal with this podcast is to get Elon Must I to talk to us.
No problem. Yep. If you're listening,
if you're listening, Elon Must I also hope I pronounced your name right, because that would be really embarrassing.
Oh
no. You feel free to contact us. Yeah. We'd love to have you on the podcast. Yeah. All right.
Oh my goodness.
Right. Time travel. What do you know? What do you know about time travel? What do you think about time travel right now, Katie? What's going on in your mind when you think about time travel?
The concept of time travel makes me think of Lost, the TV show Lost. There's a lot of time travel in Lost, and Doctor Who.
Yes.
And honestly, that's about as far as it goes, because like even when I was younger, right, and I went to see the third Harry Potter movie with the time travel in it.
With the time turner of Hermione, I think
the third movie, right?
I want to say the third or the second.
Yeah, was one of them.
It's either the second movie / book or the third one. But I think it's one of those two.
Even when I saw that,
it might be the third one actually.
Yeah, even when I saw that when I was younger, Could
blow
not
your
wrap
mind.
my brain
Yeah,
cell
yeah, yeah.
around it.
My brain cell around. I love how you say I couldn't wrap my brain cell around it. Not your brain, just your brain cell.
My brain cell, because there's only one of them. It's very special. So yeah, there's like, yeah, I used to be like super into Lost TV show. If you've never watched it, Lost is great.
I have watched it, but I've forgotten almost all of it, and I'm pretty sure like the last season was.
I think Lost gets a bad rep because of the time travel aspect in it. But I think the problem is like, you know, when TV shows are like ongoing, right? And they have like a hiatus in between seasons, or in the middle of a season or until the next season, and it's a really long break. I feel like if you don't watch Lost like consecutively, like if you do not binge watch Lost, the time travel just really fucks you up, actually. So I binge watched Lost in such a short space of time that I actually kind of did understand it. I can't really remember what happens now. I just know that Lost is like one of my favorite TV shows of all time. But
I might have to rewatch it, actually.
Oh, it's so good. I'll watch it with you.
I've completely forgotten.
My God.
I can't even remember a single character. That's how long it's been.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'll watch it with you. Let's rewatch Lost. Let's do it.
Right. Like we're still watching Doctor Who together?
Yes. Watch both, it's fine. Oh
my God. When are we going to find the time for that? Oh, I know. We could time travel.
Oh, good one. That's really good. Well done.
Right. But yeah, so your like experiences with time travel is mainly just like fiction, right?
Yeah. I don't have any like personal experiences of time travel, unfortunately.
Any personal experiences? Imagine if you did. That would be.
Imagine if now I just told you, like, God, actually, Cobble, I am from the future. I'm here to tell you about my experience. I've been waiting for this moment, actually.
Oh my God. The whole reason why I wanted to start this podcast with you is just because I could expose the future to the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, no, that's a lie.
Yeah. Okay. All right. A little bit disappointed now, but sure.
All right.
Yeah, same for me. Like, time travel is a concept that is widely like used. Like, it's used in a lot of movies and TV shows and books and like games and all that good stuff. But before doing research on this, I didn't really have like any like affinity with the whole science behind it.
Yeah.
Now I kind of do, like, in a really freaking like basic way.
Okay.
But
I'm intrigued.
It breaks my brain. It really does. It really does.
I feel like I'm gonna have to have a nap after we record this, but I can't.
Yeah, you cannot. You have to stream.
Yeah.
You're gonna be so confused on stream today.
Yeah, literally that confused
What are you streaming
meme.
today?
The Sims.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yep. It's gonna be that confused woman meme with all the formulas and stuff, like going across.
By the way, Katie streams twitch.tv/Hitano Crossings. You should check it out.
Oh, that's so funny because Cobble also streams.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah. Twitch.tv/Mr. Cobble Wobbles.
Oh yeah.
Hit that follow button.
No,
Subscribe
almost forgot about
if
that.
you want to get
almost
the
forgot
cutest
about
emotes
that.
on Twitch.
Oh my God! Stop it! Stop it! Right. Back to time travel.
Right.
There's a quote that I really love.
Okay.
From Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Right.
And he said this: "In some ways, we're traveling in time right now. We just happen to be prisoners of the present in the eternal transition from the past to the future."
Oh my God.
And I love that quote so freaking much.
It's a good quote. It
Like,
also makes me like my brain is
like
exploding already.
We're all time travelers.
We are.
We're just stuck in the present.
Oh my goodness. This is going to make me question my entire life, isn't it? I can feel it.
Yeah.
I can feel it.
Definitely, most definitely. I really enjoy, like, that quote was so good, and I was like, holy shit, that's actually you're right, technically. I mean,
Yeah.
like as we age, like we kind of travel through time.
Yeah.
So yeah. What I've noticed, like, throughout my research is that time travel in science fiction and time travel in actual science are perceived to be very, very different from each other.
Oh, okay.
Like, because, like, in science, you could basically argue that you driving a car from point A to point B is technically also time travel because it would go faster than if you would go on foot.
Right.
And that's like that's like a bit of a concept that'll return, but in more extreme ways, of course.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I just wanted to point that out. Like, it's very weird. Like, this subject is very weird and expansive, and like there's a lot of stuff to it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, what was I gonna say? Also, traveling through time to the future is something that that scientists believe is theoretically possible.
What?
But traveling through time to go to the past, like, most scientists agree that is just not possible.
What is the difference, actually?
Yeah. But it all has to do with, like, how you define the concept time travel. Because, like, it'll be clear later, maybe, perhaps.
Okay. Take me on this journey. I'm ready.
Yeah. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the grandfather paradox.
Okay.
And the grandfather paradox is why a lot of scientists believe that time travel to the past is impossible.
Okay.
So the time travel, like this paradox, the grandfather paradox, goes like this, right? So you're a time traveler, Katie.
Me.
Right?
Okay.
Yes, you. And you go back in time, and you meet your grandmother. Right? When she was, like, super young, right?
Okay. That'd be pretty cool.
Yes. And you see her, and she's, like, kind of a bitch to you.
Oh,
you know?
right.
And
Okay.
and you decide, like, you know what? I'm gonna kill you. And you murder. No, listen.
Oh my god.
Right. So maybe I have to do it with a relative that is, like, further away from you. Let's say
No. You've done this. No, you've done this. Just keep going.
So, like, let's say that you kill your grandmother in the past before she gave birth to your mother, right?
Right.
Then your mother wouldn't be there to give birth to you.
Yeah.
Which would mean that you do not exist to time travel back into the past to kill your grandmother, which means your grandmother will never be killed, but then you would grow up to be a time traveler and you could do it, but then you couldn't do it again, and the circle goes on and on and on. And that's the paradox, right?
Okay.
And because if you go back in time as a time traveler, change things, and you end up not existing in the present or, like, the future, if you look at it from that perspective, like, because you wouldn't be able to exist, people believe that time travel to the past is actually impossible.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Because all of your actions would have big consequences.
Because
like even effect.
Yeah, exactly. So even the smallest change could change things in such a monumental way to, like, the future as it ripples through time that it might become impossible to time travel in the future, and then, like,
right.
It'll just be back where we started and nothing will have happened.
Right.
So that's why people don't think that time travel to the past is actually possible.
Yeah. Okay. So no
there's
going back in time and
Yeah.
killing your relatives. Don't do
that. Don't do that. But there's also a principle that says, the Novikov principle that says any action that would cause a paradox, like the grandfather paradox,
Mhm.
like every action that would cause a paradox, that action can actually not happen because
Right.
time will always be intact.
Right. Right.
Which would mean, like, if that principle is true, which is it is widely believed to be not true, but if that
Mhm.
principle would be true, then you might look at the possibility that time travel into the past is actually possible. But the reality of this is that no one freaking knows.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that is so frustrating because I want to know. I want to know.
I want to know, damn it.
I want to know.
Yes. So time travel is a very, very difficult concept to grasp, and I have struggled with the research on this. But
You've done loads of research. You're doing great. You're doing great.
Yeah. Wait until I like absolutely demolish your brain.
You're gonna just like, for those that are listening right now, you're just gonna hear, like, even if you're not watching the YouTube video, you're gonna hear us deteriorating, like our brain cells. Well, my singular brain cell, all of the wooden armor is coming off, and deterioration.
All of the wood. Oh my god.
Or it might cause. Our brains might expand. Like, you know?
we might find the answer.
We might.
And we might be the inventors of time travel.
Do you think, like, the governments would come for us if that happened?
They would probably already be listening and standing at our door, to be honest.
Y'all, if we go missing, you know why.
You know why. So there's this cheeky little theory from Einstein.
Einstein. I share
called-
a birthday with Einstein. Just
Really? Oh.
I do, yeah.
Oh my god.
We're the same person, actually.
Maybe you're Einstein reincarnated.
Maybe, yeah. Because that's definitely how it works, yes.
And like the brain cells like skip a generation.
Oh my god.
I'm just saying that because you stated that you only have a single brain cell, just to be clear.
I hope y'all freaking heard what he just, this is in a recording forever. Wow.
Like, you said you had a single brain cell.
Okay.
That's why I said it. You're actually really smart, intelligent, talented,
Sure.
all that good stuff.
Yeah.
I just want to reiterate that.
He's
Right. So there's this little theory of Einstein, which is called the theory of relativity.
Okay.
Which states that time is relative to the observer.
Okay.
Right. And to like, as a side effect from that theory, you have something that is called time dilation.
Right.
Now, prepare your freaking brain for this because
I'm scared because Cobble actually messaged me today and said this very topic is gonna rest in peace. Goodbye.
Yeah.
So I'm ready. I've got the big brain on. Let's go.
So time is relative, right? Which means that you can experience a certain set of time as a long time, and I could observe that same length of time as a short time.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But like time dilation, especially like when you go into it, like into really extremes, can be quite significant.
Mm-hmm.
But they did an experiment here on Earth actually with two people, and they each had a clock, right?
Okay.
They each had like a watch,
right?
And they synced it to the exact same time, like to the millisecond, right?
Mm-hmm.
The exact same time. And one of them just stayed on Earth, right? Just
Right.
stayed like just on the ground, just chilling. I don't know, like in a freaking pool. I don't know.
Cool.
Just
Nice.
chilling
Just chilling.
by the pool,
Right.
drinking
Sounds lovely.
a margarita or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And the other one went on a plane, and the
Okay.
plane went like pretty far high up the atmosphere.
Okay.
And they flew around the Earth a few times, you know,
Wow. Okay.
as one does. Or like one
Yeah.
time, I don't know how much fuel that thing had. Like I didn't read the specifics, but what matters is when they came back,
Mm-hmm.
they noticed that the watch of the person that flew around the globe,
Mm-hmm.
like they weren't, the watches weren't synced anymore. One of the
What?
watches was actually like I don't know how many milliseconds before the other one. Like the one that flew around the globe
What?
seemingly traveled like in time. It was like a few seconds that
What?
were offset. Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
Right. What?
It had,
Okay.
yeah. I can't really explain it. It's just what it is. It just
Right.
happened.
Okay.
And the thing is, like, people have done like the numbers on this, and if you would take that to an extreme, you get very, very, weird results. Because basically, what that said was that the person that flew around the globe was like a few milliseconds younger than the person. Like if they were the same age, a few milliseconds younger than the person that they left on Earth. PA.
What the heck?
So, if you would take this to the extreme, right?
Yeah.
And you travel to a point 10 light years away from here.
Right.
Okay, so you stay here on Earth,
Okay.
right? I go travel 10 light years away.
That would,
So that's a
be very sad.
location. That's a location where, like, for light to travel there, it would take 10 years, right?
Jesus.
For
Alright.
light to travel there. So
Okay.
imagine if I travel there at 90% of the speed of light.
Right.
How long would it take me to get there?
I don't know.
From your perspective, the stationary observer,
Mm-hmm.
right? It would take me 11 years to get there,
What? Okay.
right?
Okay. Right.
But
That's a
for
long
me,
time.
yeah, for me, the time traveler, because this will be time travel,
Right.
it will not take 11 years. It will take me 4.4 years.
Right, but what?
Because when you like this concept is really freaking difficult to explain. Okay, like as you, oh my god, how do I freaking
You
like
can do it.
the time, like the distance also shrinks for the person that like travels, but for the
Right.
person that doesn't travel, it doesn't.
Mhm.
Right? And because of that, like it would take me 4.4 years to get there, but in your, like from your stationary view, it would take 11 years. So if I would then come
Right.
back to Earth from that point, right?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
here's the crazy part, right?
Right. Okay.
Like when I arrive back on Earth, I will be roughly 9 years older than when I left. You, on the other hand, will have aged 22 years.
What? What?
And that is how time travel works according to the nature of space-time.
What? What? Okay, so I was like getting it. So like that to you, it would seem faster, right? Because you were traveling at that speed.
Mm-hmm.
But then you threw in how much you would have aged, and I. What?
Yeah. So, I don't know how to explain it better than that, honestly. Like,
I think you explained it pretty good. I just like how I am speechless. Actually,
it's actually insane because
Yeah.
like the way it's really weird because time and space is freaking trippy. All right,
yeah,
time and space freaking trippy, freaking trippy. But yeah, like if I traveled to that point in the universe and came back, like I at 90% the speed of light, which we couldn't even reach right now with the technology that we have.
yeah.
Like I would come back 9 years older, and you would have aged 22 years.
Jesus, so I'd be old as heck. Like,
Yeah.
you can't do this. You can't leave for that long. Actually,
I'm not gonna
Good.
actually.
Good.
I'm not gonna.
Good.
Yeah, it's freaking weird, but this theory only works for going into the future.
Right.
It doesn't work that way to go into the past.
So you can't like
And-
age backwards, right?
What?
You can't
Yeah.
like become a baby.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no one knows, but yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So what about going to the past, right?
What about it?
What about it? You've seen shows, like you've seen Doctor Who, right?
I have, yeah.
He can just like step into his time machine and be in the age of the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not how it would work.
Damn. You mean Doctor Who is not actually a documentary series?
I mean, it is. It is.
Okay, right,
Don't
right,
worry.
right.
Everything
Okay.
I'm telling here is like totally wrong, and
Oh, okay.
Doctor Who is the truth. Yeah.
My goodness.
No, but like there would have to be something called a closed time-like curve, which
Right.
would allow an object to return to its own past.
Right.
And that's like the key thing. Like an object would only be able to return to the past, like in the timeline that it existed, not before it existed, but when it
okay.
was already there. Like,
Okay.
For instance, a freaking traffic light outside, like on the road, and it's
Yeah.
been there since 1940. Like
Right.
it could time travel back to 1940, but not 1939.
Right. Okay. That's
Right.
a good
So
time
that's what
traveling
that's
traffic
yeah.
light.
So
right. Okay.
it returns to its own past, but like I'm gonna show you a picture.
Okay.
And the people on YouTube will be able to see it. For the people that are just listening, I'll describe it. But like,
what is that?
Yeah. So it's basically like you just have to imagine you're folding like a piece of paper over, right? You're just folding a piece of paper over, but not all the way, and you have like a little curve in it. Like you have a little curve in the paper, right?
Yeah.
And like the bottom part is the past or the
Right.
present, whatever.
Okay.
And the top part, that top sheet, like the sheet is time itself, right?
Okay.
So the top part is the future. The bottom part is the past or the present.
Right.
And like if you'd have like enough energy to make a wormhole, you could punch like let's say a pencil like through it, and you could travel to that previously established point in time.
Right. Okay.
And that's called a closed time-like curve.
Right.
Right. And that's how we would maybe theoretically be able to travel to the past.
Would it still have the same like butterfly effect?
I have no idea.
You could still change things, right?
Yeah, I honestly, yeah, but that's the problem. Like, some people believe that this would be theoretically possible if we had a piece of matter that we don't know even exists. But like, the problem with that is like, would you create like a butterfly effect? Would you create a paradox? And that's where the grandfather paradox comes in again. Like, what if you do something and like it'll undo what you did so that so that you don't exist, but then if you don't exist, how can you it'll go back into that loop of that paradox. And that's why people don't actually believe that this is possible.
Yeah. Wow. I know this because I went through an Ashton Kutcher phase. Don't ask. And,
don't ask.
And I watched The Butterfly Effect like 20 times because he's in it. It's a good movie. It
is.
But yeah, it's like the smallest thing can change the whole thing. So yeah. Interesting.
Indeed. So that's where like the closed time like curve would come in.
Right.
It's a really freaking trippy thing to think about, and like I'm pretty sure that a lot of people listening right now will probably be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" But listen, I don't actually know. Actually, yeah, I don't know.
Like we said at the start, like we're not experts. These are like experts. This topic is like really interesting, and like it's just we're just talking about it. If
you're a professor in
oh god
time.
Come on to the podcast and
to the podcast and we'll talk about it.
Yes.
And you can explain it to us like we're a bunch of babies.
Yes, that would be great. That would be
yeah. Now there's another concept that exists, and it's called transversable wormholes, which means a wormhole that we could travel through and that it would like not kill us.
Right.
You know.
What does a wormhole like? What actually is a wormhole? Like what?
Yeah. So a lot of people compare wormholes to black holes.
Yeah.
But the difference is a black hole, like if you get sucked into one, like after, like it'll depend on how big it is, but after a while you'll be broken down to like your atoms and stuff.
Yeah.
And you'll just like cease to exist.
You know what, like when you were younger and it used to be like, I don't know, like in TV shows and stuff, like quicksand used to be like a thing that you would worry about when you were a kid. Like you thought it would be like a much bigger. I used to think that about black holes. Like I really thought that black holes would be more of a problem in my life when I was a kid.
My life. Right.
Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, there's some people that believe that black holes could lead to like a parallel dimension or like another dimension or like a mirror universe or something. But that's all just speculation. No one knows for sure because no one has ever been into one. And if you would go into one, scientists pretty much agree that you would probably just die. You'd just probably be like atomically deconstructed.
Oh, great. That's
but
really cool
like
and chill.
let's just say that that we have like a wormhole that we can travel through without being destroyed.
Okay.
It would be more of a path through time than actually like time travel.
Right.
Let's say we have one of those wormholes like in a portal thing here on Earth, and then there's another one on a base on the moon. Right. You just step through it and suddenly you're on the moon.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Okay.
That'd be nice. But you
Yeah.
wouldn't have spent like the days that you would need to go from Earth to the moon. You just went there instantly.
That would be pretty
You could
cool.
see that. You could see that as time travel.
Right.
But the problem is that if wormholes existed, gravity would make sure that they close like immediately.
Oh.
So we would need like a tremendous amount of energy, a tremendous like some kind of matter to make sure that like fights back like to gravity to keep that open.
Oh.
And there's a lot of speculation about the existence or like the lack of existence of something called exotic matter.
Right.
Exotic matter is not matter that we can see or touch or whatever. It's also not dark matter, which is already proven to exist. It's something entirely different.
Mm-hmm.
And everything in existence has mass, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like you and I both have mass.
Yeah.
The Earth has mass.
Mm-hmm.
Our sun has mass, and it sits like in this, like, yeah, in this world of time and space, and it sits in it
Yeah.
because of gravity, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And exotic matter would be a particle that has negative mass. So gravity makes sure that things are attracted to each other and that like orbit around each other, and you know.
Mm-hmm.
But negative mass, this exotic matter would be something that like what's the word? Like it pushes things away instead of attracting it.
Like repels it? Yeah.
Yeah, it repels it. Like
Okay.
it's a particle that would repel things.
Mm-hmm.
So we would need exotic matter to like repel gravity and mass to like shut that wormhole down. We would need that like particle, or like a lot of particles of it probably, like to keep a wormhole open. So it's not even sure if that's even possible. So Stargate, dang it, I wish you were real. Because like Stargate, like the show, you know, right? You know about Stargate, right?
I know of it. I've never watched it though.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. But yeah, those are basically wormholes from one like place in space and time to another
Right.
that you could just instantly cross.
That would be cool. If I could.
would
So
be super
I'm going to make a
cool.
wormhole so that I can come and visit Berlin every day. So
Yeah.
can I do
Yeah.
that?
Okay.
Is-
Yeah, sure. You can put it in the in our hallway downstairs.
Oh yeah, cool. I'll just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just don't. I'll just come in, just see Berlin, and you don't even have
Yeah.
pretend I'm not even there. You know, it's totally fine.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. I'd love to have you.
Yeah. Not there to see you though. There to see Berlin. Just remember.
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Of course. Valid. Valid. So like in that aspect, like time machines, like the Doctor's TARDIS or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
they would also need exotic matter to like, you know, freaking open up a wormhole to like go somewhere. And in this case, then even like through time itself, like
Right.
back in time or forward in time.
Right.
Yeah, it's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
It's a lot.
I'm following. I actually feel like my brain is expanding a little bit. I feel like I'm
Right.
I'm
Right.
learning
Right.
things.
Very nice. Very
Mhm.
nice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like there's probably like there's bound to be like some smarter people than us that are listening to our podcast, and they're like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Wait,
This is all so
smarter-
wrong.
Smarter people than us?
Yeah, there
I
are
don't know.
smarter people than us, Katie.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's. I don't know.
I
if
hate
that's
I hate to
true.
break it. I hate to break it to you, but I think there's smarter people than us.
Nah,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Guys. Don't worry.
Now there's also like there's a lot of theories surrounding time travel and stuff, and a lot of
Mhm.
those things are also explored in like science fiction
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There are people that believe that time is like a string, and that
Okay.
you can that you can travel back and like interact with things, but no matter what, it'll remain that one timeline. It'll remain that one stream. Like in Doctor Who, it's like one timeline. If you change something, like it'll have effects in the future, but as the time traveler, you will be aware of those changes, and if you're not, you won't be aware of it, right? That's how it works in Doctor Who. That's probably also like the most simple concept to time travel, that's what would happen. And then in Doctor Who, you also have like fixed points in time where you can't, like, no matter what you do, you can't change it. Stuff like that. That's like the concept of Doctor Who, right? But then there's also like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but also in the Marvel comics, there's this idea of branch timelines.
Right.
Where if you would go back into the past and change something, you would start a branch timeline that is in a different universe than the universe where you came from.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So like if we apply this to the grandfather paradox, right? Like you go back in time.
Yes.
You kill your grandmother, right?
Great. Yeah.
A new timeline will exist alongside the original timeline where your grandmother is no longer there, and your mother will also never be born, and you will also never be born, but you will still be there because you're from another timeline.
Right. I see. Okay.
And so you can't stop existing because what happened sparked another timeline next to the original one.
Ah, okay.
And that in turn gives the potential of like lots of small things changing, creating like an infinite branch of new timelines, which would result into a multiverse.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, there might be a universe out there where you adopted Boleyn and not me.
Oh.
Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Maybe. You know, like there could be a universe where you like moved to Belgium and you got into contact with that lady that had Boleyn, and you know,
maybe
there could be.
There could be.
Like if like because of time travel, you know, it could be.
I feel my brain exploding a little bit. I can feel it.
And what we perceive as like the main timeline will not be the main timeline to other people in other timelines.
Yeah.
Like they'll believe that their timeline is the original timeline.
So like everybody thinks they're the main character, but they're actually not.
Yeah.
Wow.
So like that's an idea that like the Marvel comic, and I think the DC comics have like a similar like concept that there's like branch timelines, and those branch timelines grew into actual separate universes where things are different. And
right.
Yeah, that's freaking insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's also people that believe that if you travel back in time, you're not actually traveling back in time, but you're traveling to a different dimension.
Ooh. Okay.
Which is basically kind of like the same as with like the branch timeline thing. It's basically the same idea. But with the small difference that you don't actually have to change anything to get into a branch timeline. You'll just already be in a branch timeline by the act of time travel.
Right.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
so there could be like an alternate dimension where you live in Northern Ireland and I live in Belgium.
Yes.
And we're like, you're like me and I'm like you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. My brain is exploding.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you see
It's-
why my brain melted during research this?
Yeah,
Do you
I
see
do.
why my
But
brain melted?
it's really interesting though. Like, I mean, it's a thing that's in so many TV shows and movies and stuff, and it can be done really, really badly in movies and TV shows that just makes them terrible. But then
I mean,
it can
like
be,
it's a very easy thing to incorporate, but if you don't do the research, it could be like really freaking
a
bad.
mess. Yeah.
There's
a
like
mess.
there's an example in the movie Interstellar.
Haven't seen
Like
it.
theoretically, the movie Interstellar, how it deals with like time relativity and time dilation,
Mhm.
like the math on that is 100% correct.
Wow.
Like there's a scene where like there's this group of travelers and they go on an expedition to a planet, but the planet is like orbiting a black hole.
Right.
And
Danger.
like because of like the different kinds of speeds that all of these things are traveling at, and like the mass of all of these things and all that stuff, like time moves differently on their space station than on the planet that they go to, right? And so
Okay.
I think it was like they spent like 3 hours or something on the planet's surface.
Yeah.
And when they came back to the station, like one of their teammates, one of their fellow astronauts had aged like 29 years or something.
Oh my god.
And like that math there, like in that thing, like that all checks out.
Wow.
Like theoretically, if that was actually the case, like it works out perfectly. And that's freaking insane.
Yeah, that's wild.
As is actually wild that like because people had to do like a tremendous amount of research to like be able to write that
film.
movie.
Yeah.
It's freaking insane.
That is
It's freaking insane.
It's wild. It's actually wild. Yeah. I think it's
yeah.
interesting. I'm like never gonna be an expert in time travel, but it's really interesting. I think
super interesting. It's a super interesting concept. RD. At the start of the episode, I also said that I would go back to like the book All of Our Wrong Todays.
Yes. I'm curious.
So the book All of Our Wrong Todays takes place in an alternate version of like 2017, I think, the year the book was released.
Okay.
And in that 2017, there was a device that got invented in like the 1800s or something.
Okay.
That like revolutionized like technology on like a massive scale. And it resulted into this utopian society with flying cars and like clean energy for everyone provided by like one machine like across all of the globe.
Wow.
And like time travel will become possible.
Okay.
And like we follow the story of a character that is on this team that are going to like provide tours for tourists like through history.
Wow. Okay.
And you're gonna have to like pay for a trip to like the moon landing of 69?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Know. I said yeah. I have no idea.
Like you could pay money to go to that moment in time and like, you know, check it out.
Would you do that?
No.
You wouldn't?
I don't know. It depends because listen, I was not ready with my thing, right?
Okay.
So like in that book, they state that like if you go into the past, like you're not allowed to change anything.
Right. Okay.
Like you can't interact with anything, otherwise that could have disastrous like consequences.
Right. Yeah.
And like they have these suits that they have to wear when they time travel to make them basically like first of all invisible, and second of all like they wouldn't be able to like react to anything. Everything would just phase through them. They could go through like they could fly through walls, whatever. Like there's no way that they could change anything in the past because they can't actually touch anything. Like
Right.
they're there, but they're also not really there because everything can just phase through them and they're
Okay.
invisible.
Right.
But I don't remember like entirely like what it was, but the main character decides to go on a test run without telling the person that actually built it.
Oh dear.
And like he forgets like one step, like in like putting that suit on and stuff. He forgets one freaking step. So he goes back to the moment that the device that like powers the world and that like revolutionized the world and created this beautiful utopian future of humanity where there's peace and there's resources aplenty and like there's no hunger, there's like, you know, like it's a beautiful, perfect world. There's no global warming, nothing of the sort.
Right.
And he goes back to the creation, the moment of creation of that machine.
Oh dear.
But he forgot something, and so he interacts with that past.
Oh no.
I believe that his suit also glitches out, and the person that invented the machine like saw him like floating over there. And like he discovers a particle that shouldn't be there, blah blah blah. Long story short, the machine doesn't work, and the people that came to like fund the project and stuff, they back out of the project.
Oh dear.
And it's all his fault. And like before he fucked up, there's actually an entire chapter in that book that is just the word fuck. And it's just like 4 pages of fuck.
Nice.
It's pretty funny. But like when he realizes what he's done, like he travels back to the future.
Right.
But instead of landing in his 2016, his utopian 2017, he lands in our 2017.
Right.
And it's his fault that our world right now is so fucked up.
Oh. Wow.
And he has to like find a way to, you know, get back to that utopia and to like repair and like to undo his mistake.
Oh my god.
It's such a freaking good book. And I love it.
So good.
You should read it.
You said that you'd make me want to read it. I actually kind of do now. That sounds really good.
It's so good. And like how, like, I don't know how Alain Mastai did it, but like the whole concept of time travel in it is so neatly well done, and it works within the world that he's created. And like, there's also kind of some science behind it.
Nice.
And it's just really freaking awesome.
That sounds really good, actually.
And all of what I just told you, like, just happens like pretty early on in the book.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, he
wow.
He lands in our 2017. He's still him.
Yeah.
But like his life is totally different. And there's all these people that like he knows, but he doesn't actually know. And like he has this like wife that he doesn't know, and like, you know, like it's really freaking interesting. It's really freaking
really
cool.
Good, actually. Yeah, that sounds really good.
It's a really good one. It's a really good book, and I would recommend everyone to read it, especially if you're into science fiction and maybe the concept of time travel intrigues you. All of Our Wrong Todays is one of my favorite books of all time, and like I've already
movie as well.
Yes, and I think they're actually working on one.
Oh, really? That's cool.
I think so. I think I read that somewhere, but I could be wrong. But like when people ask on Twitter, like, "Yo, book recommendations," you know, like I usually go like Neil Gaiman, like everything Neil Gaiman, everything V.E. Schwab. And then usually I sprinkle in All of Our Wrong Todays by Alain Mastai. And I always tag him. And he's liked my tweet.
Oh, I love that for you.
And responded to it that he can't believe that he got mentioned like in the same sentence as Neil Gaiman and V.E. Schwab. And I'm like,
oh my god.
But you wrote a really freaking good book, man. Like,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's modesty right there.
Yeah.
That's cute. You look,
So yeah, all of our wrong todays. But what do you think? How do you think time travel would work? Which one of these theories do you believe are or could be true?
Well, I think that the grandfather paradox thing is like, yeah, it's like really confusing, but it would definitely happen. And again, it just reminds me of the butterfly effect in my Ashton Kutcher phase. Like you go back in time, you mess everything up. I think the time dilation thing, like my brain cell, she's struggling, but I can see sort of, kind of, little teeny tiny bit how it makes sense, but also that it doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I get that. The timeline curve thing. Don't know about that one. Don't know about that one. But yeah, I think the time dilation thing is really interesting. If I could have like if my brain was like just a little bit bigger and I could fully understand how the hell that even is possible, like how would I be older than you?
I genuinely want to look up if there's like a documentary all about time dilation.
Yeah,
just like a 2-hour documentary about time dilation.
I feel like
I would watch all of it. Yeah, I would watch it. I'm Googling it right now. Like, you keep talking. I'm just yeah.
I would watch it. But it's just like like I said before, like I can see. Right, I can kind of understand why it would seem faster to you, but it's like, from what I'm gathering, it's like it's not just that it seems faster, it's just that like it is.
Yeah.
But how? And
yeah. Because an object in motion, this is what I read, right? I don't understand a single thing of it, but this is what I read. An object in motion traveling to a destination, it doesn't only like shrink the time that it's needed to get there, but it also shrinks the distance. I don't know how that works. Like, I read that and I was like, come again?
Explain this to me like I am 5.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I found some YouTube videos about it. We should watch them together.
We should. Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
We're gonna become professors of time travel, and
yeah.
We're gonna create our own wormholes and stuff.
Like, I don't like it, like, as an answer to my own question, like, I genuinely don't know, and I don't think anyone really knows like how time travel would work.
No.
But what makes most sense to me, like the time dilation thing, like when it's explained to me, like I kind of get it, but I can't really explain it to someone else and say like, like I have the full story, because I don't.
I get it.
But like, it makes sense. Yeah. But at the same time, it seems very surreal, but it makes like the math checks out, and like math, the math checks out.
Yeah.
Math.
I'm not gonna pretend I know how to do math like literally at all, but yeah.
Oh. And I think like the most interesting like theory of how time travel would work is like the branch timeline thing.
Yeah.
That seems like the most interesting thing to me, because like Doctor Who is a great show, don't get me wrong. I love Doctor Who so freaking much. It's one of my favorite like shows ever. I just love it.
Wee little bit of a Whovian. Yeah,
a little bit of a Whovian. But the whole thing with Doctor Who, like, and how time travel works, the time traveling Doctor Who is like in the essence of it.
Oh my god.
Is quite simple and mundane.
Yeah,
like it's just one timeline with fixed points in time that you can't change, and you can yeah, it's baby time travel.
Yeah.
But like when you look at like branch timelines and stuff, like
That's cool.
where the interesting stuff happens.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Agreed.
Yeah. But yeah, I do not like after doing this research, I also don't really think that it's possible to travel back into the past.
No.
And there's also there's also this thing that people say that like if a time machine is ever invented, like you will not like you'll be able to travel into the future, but you won't be able to travel beyond the point where the time machine was actually invented. And that's where the time like curve thing comes in.
Right.
That you can't travel like more into the past before the object that you used to go into the past like existed.
Yeah. So if you could time travel, where would you go? Like, would you go into the past? Would you go into the future? Would you do it at all? Like if it was like a casual, okay, maybe not casual, because then you just would do it because everybody else is doing it, right? But if you were given the option, like, I don't know, just someone was like, Cobble, you can time travel once,
but time travel and then back, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I don't want to be stranded.
No.
I don't want to be stranded in Egypt when they're building the pyramids, you know? Like,
yeah, maybe not.
I don't want to do that. But I think like there's so many points in history that I would want to go to just to see how it actually was. And like one of those things is how the fuck did the Egyptians build the pyramids?
Aliens.
You know?
Just
what
aliens.
Did you say?
Aliens.
It's aliens, yeah. Like, see, this is what I want to know. Was it aliens? Were the Egyptians just like technologically like super advanced and we just don't know about it? Like, I just want to.
Yeah, the pyramids blows my mind. I truly.
Yeah,
I tried reading into it once, and it messed me up. It did.
It's like the general consensus is that it was built by slaves moving these huge blocks with like a bunch of them like pulling them and carrying them all the way to the pyramids and all that.
But there's also like lots of physics and like math about how they're like positioned and shit. Like.
Yeah, like how how do they do, and like I think that's a point in history where I'd be like, you know what, I kind of want to see that.
Yeah.
You know, like I kind of want to see that.
Yeah. What about the future? Would you go into the future? Like, would you go and see your own future?
No. I definitely would not want to do that.
Would you get spoiler alerts?
Yeah, I don't want spoilers about my future. I'll just deal with things as they come on my path.
Yeah.
Because like once you know things about your future, like you're gonna be like your brain, it's just gonna consume my brain, and I won't be actually living.
Yeah, not good for
like
the anxious brains.
I'll just be living to that one moment or whatever instead of actually experiencing life in the moment.
Yeah.
So I don't think I would want to do that. But to the past, like there's so many places where I want to go to just like check, like how was that? Like what happened there, or like how did dinosaurs actually? What did dinosaurs actually look like?
Yeah, go back and like, pet a dinosaur.
How did exactly. Like did they see the giant asteroid coming from miles away, or like you know, like I those are things that I want to know.
Yeah.
That would things be very that I want to know. Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't travel to the future. I don't think. I would be very curious, very tempted, but I'm the same where it would be like, I think it would be consuming. If you find out something bad specifically.
Maybe just like far future though, like a couple of 100 years, like what will Earth look like or something. But then again, like if you find it like destroyed or whatever, like you're going to be thinking about that as well, I guess.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
True.
I don't know.
Yeah, don't fuck with that. Don't fuck with going to the future. Nuh-uh.
Yeah. Where would you go in the past?
I don't know. Like, I was just gonna be really boring and just be like, I just like to go back to being a wee little child. And like, I used to live in the countryside, right? And it was just the best because we lived beside this field of cows. And they were like, I was so happy when I was just hanging out with the cows. So I just like to go back to that for a day.
You would just go hang out with the cows.
Yeah, baby Katy and the cows, yeah.
Baby Katy and the cows. Right.
Yeah,
right,
I mean,
right.
going back to really cool points in history would be really cool. But also, I just want to be a child with like no worries again, you know, like no responsibilities, just me and the cows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Just for a day, you know, it'd be good.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
I feel the judgment in your tone.
No. I think it's sweet. And I would also want to be without worries.
Yeah.
Becoming an adult sucks.
It does.
So
It does. It really does.
So yeah. But I think this is our shortest episode.
Yeah, it is. Well,
yeah,
by a little bit, because we talk so much. Actually, we do.
We talk a lot. We do.
But this is very good, and also like a round of applause for you for all your research. Very interesting.
Thank you.
You talked about it really well. And listen, if there's any professionals that listen to this and are judging,
or want to provide context to certain
you can
things,
provide context.
Or like you could like comment away, find us on Twitter or Instagram or whatever.
Yeah.
YouTube comments, like we'll read it and we'll take a look. And feel free, like if you're not an expert, to also just like think about it and give your opinion on stuff. Like, what do you think time travel is like? And
also, what are your favorite like time travel shows? Do you like Doctor Who? Did you like Lost? What's your opinion on it? I could talk to people about Lost all day long. Yeah.
Right. Then I want to thank you all so much for watching and listen. Well, primarily listening. I keep saying watching. It's like it's
because you're
my brain goes on autopilot.
You're a YouTuber, streamer.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Ackshully.
Thank you.
Next week we're back with another episode. Next week we're actually gonna kind of like continue this like time travel vibe, because next week's episode will be transmitted from an alternate dimension.
Yeah.
Where bad movies from our dimension are actually good over there.
Are actually good, actually.
Actually good, yeah.
I'm scared for it.
It's gonna be so funny. We're gonna
be the most ridiculous thing ever.
I'm gonna pick movies that I absolutely hate, and I have to rave about it. Like it's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to see that, stick around for next time.
Yes.
And if you want to see more of Katy, you can follow Katy on YouTube, on Twitch. You can check out her Twitter, Instagram.
Yeah.
She's got like a fan house thing. Like you can check all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Most of it's just like at Hateno Crossings.
It is. You are correct.
All of it, probably.
And you can also find Cobble in pretty much all those places too. At Mr. Cobble Wobbles. Do recommend.
Yeah.
He's rather good at what he does, so I would recommend it.
I'm gonna cry, actually. Yeah.
No crying on podcasts. It's fine.
I'll try.
But yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, feel free to leave us a little review if you like on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or just send us a tweet if you want, and tell us what you thought. We'd love to hear all your thoughts. Would be lovely. Big oo-woos.
Right, then we'll see you all later.
Yeah.
And this is what the next episode will be sounding like.
Teehee.
Teehee.
what's your alternate dimension name? Because mine is Tacky, right? Because I'm Katie,
Right.
but Tacky is...
Tacky.
Yeah.
Mine is Bokle. Bokle.
Where the hell did that come from?
I don't know, Cobble, and I just switched the B's with the C.
Oh, right.
Bokle. Bokle.
Okay, yeah.
Bokle.
Bokle.
Bokle and Taki.
Bokle and Tacky. Amazing.
Yes. Right. So we're going to listen to transmissions from Bokle and Taki.